Hey guys, it's Khalif, Fat Guy Skinny Wallet, and I'm just doing this video because Sarah Smelling sent me an article on this woman in the UK who wants to, who's on welfare, and she says that she can't afford to get healthy. She is 25 stone, which is 350 pounds. A stone is 14 pounds, pretty sure of that. So 350 pounds. And she says that she can't afford to get healthy. There are two things that she wants the government to do for her, either or. But she is getting right now 20,000 pounds a year in benefits, which is between $33,000 a year in benefits. She has two kids, one age 10 and one age 2. She says that healthy food is too expensive, so the government needs to pay her more in benefits so that she can get healthy and that she can lose weight. She can buy healthy foods. They show her in front of a cupboard in one of these pictures. The cupboard's open. There's Pop-Tarts. There's some type of fingers. There's all types of food that I've never heard of. There's Chips Ahoy. And there's a bunch of other snack food, junk food. There's something with Monsters Inc. on it, so I'm sure more junk food. And that's all that's there. And she says, that's all I can afford. All I can afford is junk food. All I can afford is snack food. I can't afford real food. I can't afford to get a gym membership because all my money goes to taking care of myself and my kids. And she says she can't afford to get healthy, so the government needs to pay more money. The taxpayers need to kick in more money in order for her to get healthy. It always baffles me when people who are able to eat so much that they're in a caloric deficit almost daily say that they can't afford something food related. If you're eating 5,000-6,000 calories a day, you are spending a lot of money on food. If you just went to eating 4,000, 3,000 calories a day, you'd be spending a lot less money on food, even if you ate the same things. Now, if you want to change that and eat different things, then eat different things. I'm sure she has the internet. If not, she has a local library or anything that can provide her with the internet, and she can research some foods that have a lot of bulk and not a lot of calories. She can, just look at a weight loss plan. She can just start walking around her block. She doesn't need to spend a bunch of money. She says in this article, I tried swimming, but it cost 22 pounds a month, which is around $35. It cost 22 pounds a month, and it meant I had to cut back on my favorite pizza and Chinese takeaways. That is an actual quote. That is not someone manipulating her words. That is a direct quote from her. She stopped exercising because it took away from her pizza and Chinese food money. So she wants you, the taxpayer, to pay more money for her so that she can buy her healthy foods. She says she knows nothing about eating a healthy lifestyle. See, her doctor told her that she is in danger of heart disease and diabetes, and she doesn't really care. She doesn't want to leave her kids alone, and she's only 26 years old. She doesn't want to die early and have them deal with that, but she says it's not my fault. Healthy food is too expensive. And then there was a second thing. I mean, that right there is just nonsense because she's able to buy unhealthy foods and she's able to buy so much of it that she stays in a constant caloric surplus. The second thing that she says she wants the government to do is to, I'll read what she said. It would be good if the government offered a cash incentive for me to lose weight. I'd like to get 1 pound for every pound I lose, or healthy food vouchers. So for 1 pound for every pound she loses, if she wants to lose 150 pounds or 200 pounds, I mean, she's not going to get more than $400 for it, depending on where she wants to go, as far as her lowest weight. So you're telling me that somebody just said, hey, if you start acting right, I'll give you $400? Or I really just give you $1 per pound you lose, or about $1.60 per pound you lose. That will motivate her more than leaving her kids as orphans. I just don't get it. Why should the government pay her this? So think about this. What she's saying is, in my current state, the price of food, the price of of a gym membership or any other type of exercise, and the low price of unhealthy foods, in my current situation with the amount of money that I'm getting, all of that combined makes it impossible for me to lose weight. But if you keep all of those things the same, don't change anything in my circumstance, and then just tell me you'll give me $400 when I'm done, I'll be able to lose all the weight in my same circumstance, with the same amount of money, with the same prices at the grocery store, with the same prices at the farmer's market, with the same subsidies on unhealthy foods. She will be able to lose weight if you just give her enough incentive, if you give her enough motivation. So I just don't get it. She's admitting, hey, I could do it with the resources I have right now, but I still want more resources. And if you can't increase the resources, at least tell me that you'll give me some money if I'm able to do it with the current resources. Her kids being orphans is not enough. Her early grave, she's 26 years old, is not enough motivation. But she's blaming the government. And it's just this culture. And, you know, we were talking about this, Sherry Ann and I and Sarah were all talking after the Renew show on Tuesday. And we were just talking about blame and how people always, and this is actually Sarah, this is why Sarah sent me this article, because of what things we were talking about brought this up, is that we want to look for someone else to blame for our problems. We want to blame on genetics. We want to blame it on the USDA. We want to blame it on the FDA. We want to blame Monsanto. We want to blame carbohydrates. We want to blame fat. We want to blame sugar. We want to blame McDonald's. We want to blame everyone and everything. We want to blame soft drinks. Everything except me. I did it. And that's something we're usually not willing to say. And if we're not willing to say that, there is no way where we talk about having a healthy relationship with food. That's impossible if we keep looking at it as the enemy. There's nothing wrong with the food. It's us. This woman is saying, I can't lose the weight because this is all the food that I have around me. But hey, I could lose I could lose the weight with all this same food around me if you just pay me $1 a pound per pound that I lose. That's the mentality that you're going to get from this culture, from a society that raises people to think nothing is my fault. Everything is because something was done to me as a child, or it's genetics, or it's my environment, or it's my lack of education. Whatever it is, it's something that was done to me that caused this. This is not me. And we are not willing to take responsibility for our actions, and we're not willing to deal with the consequences of those actions. We want someone else to bail us out and rescue us because it's not our fault. We don't want to humble ourselves and say, hey, I screwed up. And I'm actually going to be talking about in a video and a blog post why or how I think that really has moved into weight loss, and why weight loss has been made so difficult, so complicated because of that. It's a simple thing, like I always say, but it's been made complicated because of that attitude that's prevalent in our minds. So anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on about this woman. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. First, do you think her benefits should be increased so she could buy healthier foods? Do you think the government should pay for what she didn't ask for, but for nutritionists or a dietitian to come in and work with her present budget? Do you think that the government should give her subsidies for exercise? Or could somebody just call her on the phone and say, look, get up off the couch and walk? What do you think? What do you think should happen in this case? What should be the government's response? Because she is not the only 350-pound, 25-stone woman out there who is on government assistance. So what should be the government's response? And what would be your response? If you were in the government, what would be your response if you were her friend or someone she trusted? And what would be your response if you were a taxpayer and this was actually a question on a ballot that you had to vote on? All right, guys. Thanks for entertaining me. And just remember, change today for a triumph tomorrow. See you later.